Yo, what's up, YouTube? Bringing you another tip, strategy, and call out video, and this time it's on Onslaught, which is one of the more difficult maps to learn and understand. So it's going to be one of the more difficult maps to explain, but I'm going to try my best and see what I can try to teach everybody, alright? So starting out, let's go over callouts really quick. This area is the flag area. You call this area back, I call this area back flag. This would be, in their window on the right side, or, A side window, B side window, B box, A box, B corner, B dumpster area. We call this the garage. This B corner, this is the street, not the streak, like some people say. And then this is top B, and then top middle B, and obviously their B street. Especially the exact same, on their side. Their B street, their B corner. And obviously the same for A. Top middle A, top A, their A street, their A corner, their A dumpster. People call this the A courtyard. This is B courtyard area, or like front base B. I call this basement, high B basement, A basement, and then like B square. This is a square, and then I usually call this area the maze, and then I call this the TP or the triangle. It's a triangle kind of shape, and then tunnel right here. And then their big B garage over here. So you get the idea. It's just, it's the same on their side, our side, whatever. It's A or B. So let's go over kind of strategy and how the map plays. It's a little bit more harder to understand and kind of conceptualize, but I'm going to try my best. So the idea is obviously you need to get top middle, at least. It's really good to be top middle when you on your teammate is running their flag, right? So it doesn't mean you need to necessarily be, if you're the first guy in line on the team, doesn't mean you necessarily need to go top middle. But it's pretty much always good to be top middle when they're spawning, so you can be above them shooting them, and they have to worry about you off their spawn. If they try to go back to their base, then they're going to be getting shot. If they spawn corner or dumpster, they're going to be getting shot as they go up, right? So it's pretty much always good to be top middle. If you don't really know, if you're not too good at the map, then try to get in your way towards top middle as much as you can, right? So then the other thing you need to do, obviously, is push the enemy base, but you have to make sure you push the enemy base safely. You don't want to go all the way to their base, which obviously takes the longest to do, and finally get over here and then just like trade kills with somebody or get a two-shot melee trade. It's much better to get to their base, and kind of play support, kind of do damage, and just make sure you don't get pushed and you stay alive. Because if you die here at their base, then no one else on your team can be close enough to run the flag in time to get a flag cap. So it's really important to stay alive once you finally get to enemy base, right? But obviously it's also a good way to get, behind, to sandwich them, to have two angles on them. If you have a teammate up top and you're at their base, it's two angles they have to worry about, and you're pretty much going to kill them guaranteed. So it's a good way to get spawn kills once you get to their base as well. But it's just a highly vulnerable spot. So obviously, the best setup is have a teammate top middle and having a teammate over here if they're spawning A, and you're just lighting them up right when they spawn. So if you get this setup, you don't have to run the flag yet. If you finally get up to this setup and they are dead and they're going to spawn soon and you think they're going to spawn A, this being up here on the box doesn't block the A spawn, so you can just jump up and just shoot them right on their spawn and just get free kills. And once you kill them, immediately kill them, it's a fresh set of kills and you can just get ready to run the flag. And because, it's always better, if you didn't know, to run the flag as soon as they all die. That means it gives you more time to get the flag across back to your base without them having a chance to respawn and kill you on their respawn. So, the way to understand kind of what side they're going to spawn at is typically if they end up spawning B and you kill them on this side of the map, they're probably going to spawn A side of the map, on their A side. But it's not guaranteed. You can definitely block the spawn and have them spawn, twice in the same side of the map. But that, like, a good way to, good thing to do is, like, say they're dead on spawn and you finally get across to their base and you come over here, then a lot of times they're going to spawn on the other corner, and you have to just obviously be ready for that and kill them when they spawn. But, like, say you're pushing in front of their base, you don't know what side necessarily they're going to spawn on. They could spawn B or A, right? So obviously, if you get over to their spawn, you can block the spawn. So you got to think about that as you're running to their base. Like, if you finally do get to their base, then it's a good idea to, like, go onto their base to stay alive. Like, a lot of times I'm pushing the enemy base, and I know, like, it's not really a good time to push into their base because they may or may not kill me. Because it's going to be, a gamble. I'll just come under their base and just kind of wait for them to go to their flag, obviously they're defending their flag and they have to chase me down under their base, and I can do a lot. I can juke them out from information that say they had a call out to make, and juke them out and stay alive in front of their base and under their base. So, what you really want to be doing, like I said, a lot is either you're going to their flag to try to stay alive and then get a flag pull, or you're gonna go top middle. Okay, that's definitely the two routes that you want to be taking most of the time. So there's like two. Obviously, this map is just a small symmetrical map. So there's two modes at all times. You're either A, defending, or B, attacking. And when you're defending, you need to make sure you're killing the guy that's first up in their line. That guy is gonna be pushing your base, because if you don't kill him and he gets his shields back, or he stays alive and kills you, then he's gonna be the one that runs your flag, and he's gonna get that flag cap. So it's important to know to kill that guy that's pushing your base. So if I spawn RA corner and my teammates are dead, they're respawning soon, and I know there's a guy top A, I might fight that guy a little bit, but I know there's a guy pushing bottom mid. I'm going to probably come over here to the flag and try to get an angle on this guy bottom mid. If I can kill this guy bottom mid in front of our base, then that guy top A, he's not going to be at our base yet. And then, so I successfully defended our base now because I killed that guy that's in front of the line, right? So with that said, another play I like to do a lot is, it's always good to have top A and top B, so you're coming in from both angles, and when they spawn, they have to worry about guys above them and guys coming from their other half of the map. So they're gonna get sandwiched. So a lot of the times I'm no shields, and I know no one's over here on our B side, but I know a lot of my teammates are gonna spawn A. I'll just get no shields, and I'll like come under our base. I'll go our back flag, and I'll just get to our B as I'm trying to regain my shields, because I don't want to risk pushing to their half of the map while I'm regaining my shields, because they could just easily kill me one shot. And I'll just go over to the B dump and try to get up the top B as they're getting ready to spawn, and maybe they're spawning in their corner or whatever. And I can decide either I can go to their B corner, or I can go top middle into front of their base, or I can just jump right into their window if I think it's like going to be fresh enough and my teammates are going to be up there to spawn kill them, and I can get the flag pull. So you got to think about that. Like, just because you spawn on your A side, it doesn't mean you have to stay on the A side the whole time. Could be a good play, but you can also push to the other half of the map, while you're regaining your shields or whatever to be up top for when they spawn. So obviously the top A and top B are some of the strongest parts on the map, because one, there's ammo, two, there's these nades here that you can get, and obviously the more nades you have, the better. You're always gonna be chucking nades, and yeah, you can decide where you want to go from there. But the most important thing that you can really do is not really get flag pulls or whatever, but just if you can get behind them, get ready to get behind them, and try to do your damage, try to kill the majority of their team. And once you do, your teammates are going to be more set up to get damage on their spawn, and then if you do get those kills on their spawn, you're going to be set up to get the flag cap, or even get more spawn kills, so your teammate can push in and get their flag, right? Now, what you don't want to do is have too many guys push over to the enemy flag and try to run the flag, because if you do have too many guys taking the same angle over here on their flag, then there's no one going to be alive in the middle of the map, top middle and bottom middle on your team, that can spawn kill them as they're spawning up down here. And if they do just spawn up down here and they're not going to get spawn killed, they can just come down here to the maze, and they can defend their flag from bottom mid. So you're pretty much not going to get a flag cap, because you can't get the flag out of their base, because now they're just bottom mid. They're doing ringing around the rosy bottom mid, and you're not killing them. This is a good place to be, to like defend your flag, because obviously it's hard to kill. It's hard for the enemy to chase you down here without you at least trading, right? So you can drop nades behind them. So it's a good place to defend your flag, right? Plus there's a mauler down here. It's a good place to, if you have, if the enemy team is pushing your A and you spawn B and you end up getting control of bottom mid and there's no one around here, you can easily just defend your flag, right? It's a good place to stay alive. Now, a lot of people ask me, like, what do you do when you're getting spawn killed? So, like, that is basically the idea. If you can get either A, back to your flag over here to stay alive and be a hard killer around here, either in the window right here or the box, but obviously the box is easy to get naded. You can, if you stay alive here long enough, then, they're kind of forced to push you, and if you get pre-nades or whatever, and they try to push you on the stairs or in the front base and you kill them, then you're going to be successful in defending your flag. The other thing that you can do, like is what we just talked about, is try to stay alive around here bottom middle, so they have to chase you from top middle or from the other side of the base. So you're also a hard kill, and you end up getting a trade, and you can nade, you can throw nades off here, so you can defend your flag And if you successfully get a couple kills, then you're going to defend your flag, and they're not going to cap, right? So, you know, you got to think about that when you're on the offensive too. Is if you're on the offensive and you don't have guys top mid, and they just spawn up on the B dumpster or the A dumpster and come to right here into the triangle or the maze, then they're just going to defend your flag, and you didn't get that damage on them when they spawned because you had too many guys trying to push their base. So, you know, you didn't have a successful spawn kill on the enemy team, and you're not going to get a flag cap, right? So I hope that kind of covers majority of the things you have to be worried about. But the other thing you obviously need to be thinking about is you want, you know, the best thing you can do is kill all 4 of the enemy team and have them spawning each person spawning 3 seconds apart. So like one guy spawns, all your teammates just light him up, he's dead, double team. 2 seconds later, 3 seconds later, and his teammate spawns, everybody lights him up, dead. You know, he gets double teamed too, because it's just more time that you have to kill them when the enemy team has no help whatsoever. So it's to you're putting the enemy team on a bad cycle of spawns, because each time they spawn up, they have no help from their teammates, and everybody in the other team can focus them. You know, so that's the thing you're going for, is just give them a bad spawn cycle. Just kill them and then wait. You know, try to kill them like about 3 seconds apart. You don't have to, obviously, don't try for this, but like getting these spawn kills on the enemy team is going to be the most important thing that you're going for in the game, because once you do that, it's definitely going to be a flag cap, and you know, it could turn into even 2 flag caps. So what you don't want to end up happening is like getting a flag cap, but it not really getting you anywhere, because all your teammates died doing it. So it's just a counter cap, and it's really just trading caps in 1-on-1, right? So with that being said, say you do end up getting to top middle. Sorry, I just fell. You end up getting top mid, but you know you only have one other teammate on your team ready to spawn kill them, and so you only have 2 guys on getting ready to spawn kill them as they spawn up, and you have one of your teammates running the flag. You got to be careful to not go over here and just like have 2 guys spawn right in front of you, and you get double teamed, and you only get 2 or 3 shots of damage out, right? It's much better to get these 2 or 3 shots of damage out if you see 2 guys spawning up. You know, obviously you have to gauge whether they're going to kill you or not, but if they only get 2, if you say you want to make sure you're not getting double teamed, right? So if you do see multiple guys, you just drop down and just stay alive if you get weak, and go somewhere where it's still hard for them to kill you, and then, you know, they're still trying to push to your base to try to stop the flag, but you can still work on getting your shields back and throwing nades bottom in as they spawn up. You know, you got to remember, like, if you're running my point here is, you got to remember, if your team is running the flag, it's a 3v4, and you trying to spawn kill them and try to get your flag cap secured. So you got to remember, like, all right, since it's a 3v4, I have to make sure I stay alive, because if I don't and they kill me, then they're gonna have a really good chance at stopping the flag. I know I struggled to explain some of this stuff, but I hope you guys understand the majority. If you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'm trying to get them answered. Thank you, guys.